Hello, I am aromantic and allosexual. For anyone who wonders what that means I don't experience romantic attraction, but I do experience sexual attraction. And this is my story about how I realized I was aromantic allosexual. When I was thir- when I was 13, I noticed when I started having an attraction towards people, I always noticed that it was different from my peers because I remember talking to my friends and we would talk about people we were into, and I always noticed that my friends always had attraction towards their friends like, of in a different way than I would, in the sense of I remember they always had attraction towards them of wanting to be in a relationship with them, wanting to be wanting to hold hands, kiss, cuddle. And I just remember when I was growing up, I just never felt that same way about my crushes that they felt towards their crushes. And I noticed like they would have whenever they had crushes the on the people they do, it was always towards like all the friends they have. Well, I tend to have more crushes always on strangers or on close friends. And I noticed like I never felt the way they felt about the crushes. I felt more of in the sense of wanting to be more physically close to them, wanting to be more more like a playful kind of attraction or floaty way compared to like how my friends did. And I will, because of that, I always just felt like I was very like the odd kid in the friend group because of that. And I was, because I thought like there's something wrong with that, how I felt towards my crushes, I just never really acted on my emotions. And I also went to a to a Christian school and like was brought up in a religious household too. So how I was taught about attraction is that if you don't desire and be in a relationship with the person that you're attracted to, then there's no reason for you to flirt with them or be physically close to them at all. Because to kill how the places that I grew up, it's like, oh, if you're not interested in being in a relationship with them, then that means you're a slut, you're a player, you're this and that. Unless like you like want to be in a dating relationship with them. So because of that, I never really acted on my emotions, and I guess like I always when I was younger, I always mixed up my sexual attraction with my romantic attraction and thought like my sexual attraction is romantic attraction. Like some of them I thought until I got, I guess, around the age of 15 when around more 15 when I started realizing that like the that maybe I'm not really having any romantic attraction, but I think at that time I was in such denial to the point that I would just lie to myself and just tell myself that, oh, you do have romantic attraction. There's nothing wrong with different from your peers, even though I knew I was just straight up lying to myself just to feel more okay that like maybe there's something different for me from my other peers. And I guess I just like, and then like I a couple years pass, and once I get to around the age of 17 to 18, I start looking more into the into the aromantic spectrum to see maybe there's something off, like maybe I can like connect with people to like install like educate myself with like about the romantic spectrum. And I just well like when I was 18 to 19, um I started identifying more of gray romantic, which gray romantic is people who experience little or no romantic attraction. In the sense, in the lifetime, they probably like spends only 1 or 5 attractions in their life. And feel free to like correct me in the comments if I got that wrong. But I was more like around 18 to 20 years old, I started identifying as that. And the reason I identify as that was because I guess in my head at the time, I just never really want to acknowledge the fact I didn't have any romantic attraction, but I still had sexual attraction. And I just more, at that time, when I started becoming more to terms that I had no romantic attraction, I just naturally started distancing myself from anyone I had any sexual attraction to. Because when I was when I was growing up, until then I always had it with sexual attraction that I could have sexual attraction on strangers, or I could have sexual attraction with like someone I'm really close friends with. And I just more like it just in my head it just seemed like no matter what happens, it just never really I just never really got close to them emotionally when it came to sexual attraction, because like I just noticed it would always go from like either last either just 1 day or to like anywhere to like 3 months. And it just like naturally just goes away on its own. Like it just seemed like for me I just never really had any control of it, of like when I had attraction towards someone or not. And so and I just more with whenever like I try to distance myself from any of my friends that I have sexual attraction towards, I always notice that they just never really never really want to like be friends after that, because there was some of them who had it that they said that they had attraction towards me as well, and they just felt dehumanized because I wouldn't act on my emotions. and and so because of that, they just never wanted to be friends after that, or they just like thought the fact that I like separated them and then came back, even like with the people that like they didn't really had feelings for me back, but I more like some of them, like if they some of them they have I've had it, I try to become friends with them again, and then like I would have another friend who like mentioned to them about it, or they could just I guess they or like they could just tell by how it's acting that there might have been something that was going on with it. But as well, when they just found out I had sexual attraction to them, and that was the reason why I just separate myself from them till it goes away. They just always told me that they always just felt dehumanized for the fact of that, even though I just felt great shame about having sexual attraction without romantic attraction. And I guess like because when I was like lonely and stuff, I just like saw like I just like started becoming like really like more like sad, because I just started realizing that I probably wouldn't not like really find anyone, because I just well don't have romantic attraction. Um, and I never Also, I never really care to like act on my emotion, on my sexual attraction, because to me, I just guess it's like, to me, it's like if I don't have any desire of dating the person, it just, I never saw a desire of like sleep with the person. And I think that just has to do with like being brought up in a religious household, because like in it, it's like, oh, you're not dating, then you shouldn't be hooking up. And I've had people who told me that even though you don't have romantic attraction, you could just date someone, which personally I just never really wanted to do that to someone. Once I found out I had no romantic attraction towards people, because to me, like I just felt like I'm never not really being fully honest with a person by telling them I don't have any romantic attraction towards them, but I do have sexual attraction to them. And to me, I feel like that's even more degrading to just having to tell them that, and be, or like if not telling them, I'm just being dishonest with them, than if I just like stop talking to them in general just for having sexual attraction. And when I'm 22, I guess I think it was like when I'm 22 when I fully accepted the fact that I just will never have like romantic attraction, and that I was just going to have to be accept more the fact that I'm just going to be single. and and I now I'm like 23 years old, and just seeing where life takes me, and just hopeful, and until say I'm still trying to like accept the fact that I have no romantic attraction, but I do have sexual attraction. And and even though like to me it it really just feels like shit, that the fact that I was just created upon this world where I just won't feel the same way my friends will feel. and and I guess I'm just gonna have to like accept that idea that it's not gonna change regardless what happens in my life. And like if anyone sees this video, just like hope this helps anyone like to like feel like they're not the only one who has this like view of themselves.